How much do you know about Blox Fruits? Do you know the entire story? Probably not. Well, today, that's what we're gonna go ahead and figure out. And I have not seen this video, by the way, but this is uploaded by my guy, Skate, by the way. I have watched some of his other videos, and they are very, very good, so I strongly recommend that you go subscribe. But we are going to go watch the story of Blox Fruits. Let's see how this is.
This is Ripindra and his brother MyGame43, and in case you've been living under a rock, they're the developers of the largest game on Roblox by far.
Yeah, bro, it's true. Blox Fruits is
amassing
insanely
nearly 18
big.
billion visits. This duo has created a game that consistently maintains player counts in the hundreds of thousands, all starting from their humble beginnings in their garage.
Bro, why does everyone say off anywhere it's, oh, bro, they started in their garage? Like, bro, Apple started in the garage, Microsoft started in the garage, and now Gamer Chicken, whatever he said, started in the garage, bro. Come on,
got their start with Roblox development from
they made a
the
temple
beginning
run
of
game?
the platform, with MyGame43 releasing a temple run style
Shout
game
out to you
over
guys
10
if you
years
remember
ago.
Temple Run.
There
bro.
isn't a
These are
ton
my
of
favorite
information
games.
online regarding their early life, but I'm assuming they worked on numerous projects over the past 10 years behind the scenes. After creating their game studio, Gamer Robot, they released a few moderately successful games, with their first big hit being a game called Elemental Wars. The duo then went on to release a hugely revamped version of the game called Elemental Battlegrounds. Elemental Battlegrounds was a fun fighting game that was an instant hit. It offered a unique twist compared to other games at the time due to its combination of traditional melee mechanics with powerful magical abilities and spells.
Bro, this
Gaining
is like
over
all
400
up?
million visits to date, this game laid the
dang.
foundation for Blox Fruits as we know it.
I was
It's
just about to say
January
that,
16th,
this all seems
2019,
like different
the
versions
day
of
that
Blox
Blox Piece released their open beta, combining an addictive gameplay loop with their existing.
Yo, boys, shout out to you guys. Did any of you guys play the game when it was called Blox Piece? I honestly did not know it was called that.
Existing fan base from previous games, Blox Piece shot up in popularity almost overnight. The brothers pushed constant updates while consistently squashing bugs, which resulted in a fantastic gameplay experience that encouraged players to keep coming back. The long, grind-filled progression allowed players to stay on for hours. Farming bosses for rare drops and progressing through the quest lines and more were all just stepping stones to be able to compete where the game truly shines, the PvP. Now we are going to fast forward to November 2019.
Boys, is the PvP really that good? Do I have to get into the PvP? I might have to. Like, leave a like down below if I should play Blox Fruits PvP. I can't even speak.
The month that Blox Piece's biggest update so far would come out, the Second Sea update, bringing a host of new quests, a higher level cap, and a massive new island archipelago to explore brought old and new players alike back to the game. The addition of a brand new honor system heavily incentivized PvP, thus adding a whole new section of the game to begin grinding, as PvP previously wasn't very incentivized.
Bounty came in
as my friend Pierre put it, before bounty was added, the entire premise of PvP was essentially I'm better, so die. The game was reaching new highs at around this time, averaging over 10,000 players, which at the time was absolutely insane.
Bro, look at that. In 2020, that's when it came out. That's so sick. 10,000 players, bro. That's
However, amidst
crazy.
all this success, there was just one problem: copyright. The game was nearly one-to-one with the actual anime One Piece, meaning that the developers could possibly encounter huge copyright issues, resulting in their game getting taken down permanently. Fruits, characters, and more were all ripped directly from the anime, and this made Blox Fruits a prime target for copyright takedown. This all stemmed from a massive copyright wave that was taking out Roblox anime games all over the platform. And to ensure this didn't happen, various anime game devs all hurriedly changed their names to deviate further from the animes. King Piece became King Legacy, Whitebeard became Greybeard, Doflamingo became Don Swan, and Blox Piece became Blox Fruits. Nearly every fruit, weapon, and NPC in the game received name changes to avoid the copyright takedowns. Around this time is where the game as we know it began to take shape. The Blox Fruits Discord server was growing faster than ever, and
1.25 million in a Discord? Bro, that's literally, that Discord server is bigger than most YouTube channels. Like, that is insane, bro.
The game virtually doubled its player base. Indra and MyGame would go on to release more and more updates, adding more islands to the Second Sea and allowing you to awaken your fruits, essentially unlocking more powerful versions of the existing fruit by completing fun new raids.
Cool.
Fruit awakenings were a way for the
guys.
devs to introduce quote-unquote new content without having to add more fruits. And initially there were only 3 fruits that had awakenings, but this quickly changed over time as more and more updates were released, each bringing either a new fruit awakening, or more weapons and islands. It's now the end of 2020, and the dev team finally added a host of in-game events for Blox Fruits, with a small Halloween update in October and a larger Christmas event in December.
That Christmas
event was pretty substantial, revamping parts of the map and adding a new currency called candies that were obtainable from defeating enemies. You could then head over to a Christmas elf NPC and exchange these candies for various rewards, like Santa-themed items, XP
so it seems like they just do that every year
and other items typically locked behind Robux paywalls. And now begins began the first of Bloxfruit's infamous downtimes. These were periods months at a time where the game received few, if any, updates. In fact, there were only 4 updates throughout the entirety of 2021, with one of them being mostly bug fixes and 2 being reskinned event updates from the previous year. However, amidst
that is, bro, I thought Bloxfruits was like always updating and always adding new fruits. I don't know. No, I did not know that.
The sea of lackluster updates, the last of these 4 updates would prove to be one of the most substantial additions the game had ever seen. The third sea update was released on September 9th, 2021, and brought with it a brand new massive area to explore. The update also further increased the level cap to 2,000, which was nearly a 500 level increase, meaning players had a ton of grinding to do if they wanted to stay competitive. Brand new missions and quest lines led players to seek out legendary weapons or even fight Indra,
there's so many weapons that I have yet to unlock in Bloxfruits that I have to go get.
Higher level players and new players alike all had content that kept the game interesting and fresh, which caused more and more players to check out the game. Additionally, the devs added a host of new fruit to the game in this update, including Venom, Spin, Door, Kilo, and more. The Buddha Awakening was also a new addition, which made grinding immensely easier for newer players if they could manage to get someone to carry them. These much-needed expansions caused Bloxfruits to explode in popularity, surging to over 100k concurrent players for the first time since its release. Bloxfruits has maintained similar or even better numbers all the way until today. Bloxfruits was gaining tens of millions of players every single day.
Guys, it's so crazy how big Bloxfruits really is.
And so, Bloxfruits' infamous year-long content drought began. My Game and Indra again put out few, if any, updates, so longtime players who had beat the game, maxed out their bounty, and PvP'd for hundreds of hours began to get bored. Although Bloxfruits maintained its record-breaking player counts, they were losing the most important players, those who had been there since the beginning. After the third sea, the only updates players saw were again, reskinned holiday updates with a few fruits and awakenings sprinkled in the mix. The devs would increase the level cap by 100 every so often to bring some players back, but people were beginning to get frustrated. And thus began what I would consider to be the single most important update Bloxfruits has ever seen.
What's it gonna be?
Update 17.3, the revamp update, was the third part of a year-long...
I think that's honestly when I started playing the game. So when I started playing the game, leopard fruit was like really new. So I think that's honestly what led me to start playing the game.
Saga of updates. Longtime critics to Bloxfruits were always quick to point out how lackluster the game's animations were compared to other anime games, as they have been largely untouched since the game's release.
Well, they're a lot better now.
This update would silence the critics, bringing a complete graphical revamp of many fruits. Players took to Twitter, astounded by these beautiful new fruit animations. I mean, just take a look at Awakened Dough and tell me these animations don't get you feeling some type of way. It seemed as though this was the one piece, no pun intended, missing that Bloxfruits needed, and on September 10th, 2022, Bloxfruits shot up to over 500,000 concurrent users. Here's the insane part. This wasn't just one-time hype due to the update. This game would actually maintain 300 to 600k concurrent players from then on until today. Bloxfruits was soaring to new heights in popularity, and the developers have not let up on the gas since. The emerging YouTube scene was a vital part of this newfound success. It allowed Bloxfruits to attract an audience outside of Roblox, mostly appealing to the millions of people worldwide who love One Piece. When you think about it, how many times have you thought to yourself, I really wish there was an open world RPG game for Star Wars, Demon Slayer, etc. Whatever your fandom may be, One Piece fans saw that My Game and Indra had created the game they had been hoping for years and hopped on the bandwagon immediately. Dozens of careers were created seemingly out of nowhere as all the biggest Bloxfruits content creators began to blow up overnight. Many YouTubers began to receive special perks in the game, one being a unique title that players could only get through defeating them in-game. However, a toggle switch was added that allowed YouTubers to choose whether or not defeating them would grant a title, and this resulted in many content creators being losers, sorry guys, by exclusively reserving the titles for giveaways and content streams. I still think that overall this was a pretty cool addition, although it's sad that people had to ruin it just to keep their title rare. I mean, if you want your title to be rare, why wouldn't you just, you know, actually get good at the game? Anyways, I digress. Next, to further aid new players in their quest to complete the game, My Game and Indra created a confetti event for Bloxfruits' anniversary. This event allowed veterans and newbies alike to
remember the confetti event.
I remember that one. Similar to the holiday events through talking to NPCs. You could then take your confetti over to a special NPC that would restock OP fruits, XP boosts, and more. Not too bad for talking to a few NPCs. Since then, the developers have been steadily releasing updates, including the Race V4 update and the Valentine's event.
Bro, the Race V4 update was actually huge. And apparently, guys, there's another huge update coming. I see a lot of you guys talking about it. I think it's called Update 20. So honestly, like, I can't wait for that to come out. There's going to be so much fun content to make in the game. And once again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, go subscribe to Skate BTW. He is insane and makes great video essay videos.